Hi, this is Dave with Geek Cave Creations once again. Well, it is. That's me. Anyway, we're going to do I'm going to play some Fishing Planet because I happen to like the game. And I wanted to show you a few things. So, why don't we go ahead and get started here? As you can see, we're just loading up. Now, if you checked out the archive of my first stream, I'm archiving all of these, by the way. Um, you'll see that I've been fishing in Florida and um, been trying to farm gold from the unique butterfly peacock bass there. Lots of fun. Very frustrating. Um, they recently apparently nerfed the fish. We're going to be at the floating thickets. This is day one, 7:31 a.m. Pretty much where we ended off with in my last video. Same day. Um, Currently, I have 8 trophies, totaling 403 um, cash, no gold yet. I'm going to try to see if we can't change that. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to head out to the end of the dock. Now, in my last stream, I was showing you the fishing area here and trying to explain a little bit about some of the things that I do a little differently from some people. But I'll get into that particular technique a little bit more here in a bit once I actually have a fish on the line. For now, though, let's go ahead and bump this up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon because we are going to be trying. Hang on a second. Before I do, let's do this. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to swap out my shiners for large minnows. Because while you can catch the uniques on large minnows, on shiners, they actually seem to work a bit better with the large minnows. The only thing is, large minnows cost gold, a little over 1 gold a piece, and that's if you buy them at the main shop, not the local shop. The local shop is just, well, it's crazy expensive. It's almost 2 gold a piece for them. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and cast towards that one dead tree right there, just to where the aiming circle pops out of the lily pads, right there. And I forgot to set the time. Silly me. Let's reel it in. Yeah, like I said, I'm still kind of new at this, so bear with. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That'll get the sun out of our eyes, too. Okay, now, once again, there's the dead tree. Okay, and just as the aiming circle pops out of the lily pads. Right there. And fire away. Now, just like before, once the float gets to where it is, you give it a little bounce. That kind of attracts the fish's attention. Now we're just going to sit here patiently. I'm going to wait a little bit. Oh, there we go. We got a bite, so I don't have to worry about waiting and doing it again. So just have to sit here and be patient. Every once in a while, if it stops bouncing for any length of time, give it another little bounce or even a twitch like that may help get the attention of the fish. Drop my reel speed back down. There we go. Got another bite. Just going to wait for the thing to take the float for a ride. I love fishing here because it's such a gorgeous day. It says that it's partly cloudy. You can see clouds in the sky, but it's really, I would consider this a sunny day. It's nice. Of course, you guys don't hear the background noise because, well, background noise kind of drives me nuts. So I turned it off so that it wouldn't have to drive you nuts while you're listening to me. This is one of the things about this particular area. You've got to be really patient because they don't bite anywhere near as often as other places. Let's give it a good bounce. Have to tuck it in a little bit. There we go. There's a good bounce. Okay. And waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay, I probably pulled it too far away from the lily pad, so let's go ahead and bring it in. This doesn't cost anything but time. Of course, granted, time is a pretty valuable commodity here because you've only got one game hour to mess around. Let's go right there. Just disappears. Test it out there. Give it a couple of seconds to sit, see if you get a bite right away, because sometimes you do. Not often. Okay, and then you give it a little twitch. Prefer to give it a bounce, but every time you pull, every time you pull back on it to cause it to twitch, it actually pulls it a little further away from where you're at. There we go. I got a bite. Let's see if it takes it. Come on, baby. There we go. It's getting some good action. Now, if it takes this thing for a ride, it's still you can't see it. There we go. Okay. Now, notice the tension gauge for the line on the right-hand side. How it's flashing, basically. That's because I'm rapidly tapping the enter key, which is just like the right mouse button. And what this does is it helps to bring in the fish a lot faster. It beats the heck out of the whole right click stop. See how fast that came in? Now, granted, this is only a trophy. It's kind of what I expected, but that came in pretty fast for being out 90 feet. And you can do that pretty much every single time by just rapidly spamming the enter key instead of using the right mouse button. There we go. Cast it again. 20 in-game minutes have elapsed since I started, which means that a third of my in-game hour has gone by. So I've only got this attempt and maybe one more to catch a unique. Yep, there we go. Got some action. There we go. Come on. It looks good. You should keep going. Yeah, my nose itches today. Sorry. Anyways, good action. Let's go. Take it any second now. Now I do use. Whoops! Stop that. My left finger hit the mouse button on accident. That might be a problem. But I'm still 91 feet, so it should be okay. There we go. Yep, I'm still okay. When the fish takes the float for a ride, I still use the right mouse button to actually set the hook. But then I start tapping on that enter key. And like I said, it really brings it in a lot faster. You can see 64, 63. Now this one's fighting a little bit. I might have a unique. The larger the fish, the less effective this is on an immediate basis, but it's still a lot faster than just doing simple right mouse button. There's another trophy. Okay, so And it is now half past. We might be able to get two more. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, find the spot. There we go. Right there. Fire away. Click. And off to the races. That landed right at the edge of the lily pads. I'll give it a little bounce. Twitch, as it were. Give it a few seconds. You want to give it a little bit more time over on that side of the water than you do right over there by the dock, where I was doing it every 4 or 5 seconds. Here it moves the float out too far away, and you end up wasting time having to recast. So you just give it another little nudge. All you're trying to do is just move that shiner down there, that bait, just a little bit to attract attention. You don't try to move the whole thing, anywhere. Sometimes you get good days, sometimes you get bad ones. This one's not too bad, although I'd really like to, there we go, there's a good bump. Really like to get a nice unique here. It would be really cool if I could capture it on stream. Like I said, I've only caught one other one before, so realistically, chances are not good this time out. But still, yeah, I'm trying to show some valuable techniques, and impart some wisdom that I've learned with the game. So this isn't going to be a horribly long stream. As soon as my in-game hour is up, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But might even show you a couple of other methods that I use for catching the regular peacock bass here, because they're everywhere. I'm still trying to learn what specifically people use for the gar here, because they seem to hit everything that I try for the bass. I just don't see them very often. And I see some people in here constantly racking in nothing but the gar. Oh, there we go. They got a bite. Okay. It's pretty good action. Let's go. Bobbers floating around, dipping and weaving. Talking is probably putting the fish to death. Or, well, not to death, but to sleep. Go. Almost. There we go. Nope, this is just a trophy. The uniques fight a whole lot harder. They actually rip out some line. I've gone as far as 190 feet on 223 feet of line, so they do some fighting. But as you can see, I'm gaining ground a little tiny bit at a time. Oh, then sometimes a lot at a time. There we go. Let's follow them around. Okay, now that I've shown you what this is like, here I'll show you the old way. You'll bring it in, you let it go. You bring it in, you let it go. There we go. Okay, 4:43. I've got time for one more. Go. Out and in. A little bump. A little hard. There you go. There's a good bump. Okay. Listening to the crickets. Well, you probably can't hear them. Sorry about that. Change it real quick, but disrupt the game, and so I will consider it for next time. Oh, there's fish. Okay, let's go. Get a little bit of floating action. There you go. A little more. Yeah, I know. Webcam's over there, and the game's over there, so you're seeing a lot of the left side of my face. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, this one I'm just going to do it the good old-fashioned way. You know, right click, let off. Right click, let off. You can see it takes a bit of time. And I'm not really gaining a whole lot in the way of ground. But now I am. Yeah, wouldn't you know it, this fish decided to give up. Okay. Got 451. I got not enough time for one more. Maybe. If he takes the lure for a ride or takes the bait for a ride, that's not going to help. I clicked too soon. Got nervous. There we go. That's better. Okay. Got 7 minutes for him to take my bait for a ride. Uh-oh. Bounced the lure there, or bounced the bobber, and he was already nibbling on it. Bounce it again. There we go. See what we got. There we go. Some good action. Come on. This is the last one to do or die. If he doesn't take the bait before 5 o'clock, or it turns out not to be a trophy, or not to be a unique, then, well, that's it for this hour. Okay. This is where the tension builds. Yep, 2 minutes. And it's fun. Nope, that's pretty much it. So I'm not going to waste the minnow. Do want to thank you for watching, and I hope I imparted some good information. I'm going to go ahead and kind of share a couple of other things here real quick. Let me switch over to my lure rods. Okay, let's go to first 3-foot crankbait. That usually works pretty good. You see, I got one of the Christmas rods. I've got some. What's that? That's .012 fluoro, so that's 12-pound test line. Cyclone 6500, the Indigo Rudolph. It's a pretty heavy duty rig. I'm only level 18, almost 19. And some of this is level, higher level stuff, but since it was part of the Christmas downloadable content, it's available that way, even if you're not of a level to use it. And it's pretty good gear. I really like it. Anyways, this is basically what I do here for the normals. Basically, I cast right out past that section of weeds that's in the water. Now, the 3-foot crankbaits, they work pretty good here. You just got to worry about snagging a little bit. But with this setup, with the line as heavy as it is, snags are just almost inconsequential. I have never lost a lure to any snag ever. I've lost probably 60 to 70% of my bait hooks when I've snagged. Still trying to work that out, but I'm finding that you can basically fight it like a fish, and that seems to prove pretty effective a lot of the time. Okay, that's really surprising. That's the first time in a long while I've gotten a crawdad out there and um, not gotten anything. Let's go to my medium spoon. See if we can do something there. Now this one, since it is a spoon, I have to go a little bit outside of those weeds. Because if I don't, oh, I hate that. Of course, the embarrassing stuff happens. Here, we're just going to do it this way. There we go. It's pretty decent. Okay, get it a little bit off the bottom. Come on, a little bit off the bottom. It's not wanting to go a little bit off the bottom. There we go. As you can see, it reels in really quick. Got a nice largemouth out of that. Let's see. Back to this. That's my bass jig. I don't want my bass jig. What's on 3? 3 is a bait. Oh, that's my other shiner lures. See, that's got the giant fat bobber on it. See, this one, because it's a different reel setup and a larger bobber, got to kind of, uh-oh. Now that twitching is actually a bite. And it will take the, I've got this thing set up way too long. I think it's probably set up to 80 inches. I was trying a little experiment in a different place a while back. Yep, strike was done too early. I'm going to fix that. Let's see here. Yep. It only needs to be like, well, it can be as low as 10 inches. I usually like to have 12 here. There you go. There's a good cast right there. And give it a little bounce. Now, since that's a big bobber, it's not gonna bounce quite as much. You can see the fish's tail coming out of the water around the float. Large ripples. Here in just a second, it's going to just either take off on its own or take off with the bait. There we go. And he's just going. And as you can see, it's ripping out line even with me doing what I'm doing. So that's going to be a pretty good sized fish. This is almost acting like the one unique that I had, where it's ripping out line. But I don't think there are uniques over here. If there are, well, guess what? I'm changing my strategies. So, go ahead and wrap it up after this particular fish. Come on, baby. There you go. It's a good idea if you're going to use the enter key tap method to give it a couple of seconds every once in a while to let the line get slack get taken up. Actually, about a half a second is all you need. As you can see, this one's fighting a lot. And of course, this is tiring on the finger, but it is pretty effective a lot of the time. But this is a monster of a fish. If this turns out to be a unique, I'm just going to laugh myself silly. Chances are it is a trophy, and I'm just on the heavy side of a trophy. Yep, it's just a trophy. But still, that was a good fish. I liked it. Okay, anyways, thanks, guys. Go ahead and give you a quick recap. Now, remember, I had 8 before. I've now got 14. Went from 403 cash to 668. So we're doing pretty good. I did happen to do some checking, and I had no licenses for this place earlier, so I ended up having to spend $500 on licenses. So 500, and I'm still not quite even for adding, keeping that into account. But before I end the day, I will be making money on this because, like I said, this is a good place for catching some good trophies, and they do make some pretty decent cash. So, anyways, this is Dave with Geek Cave Creations. I'm signing off. You have yourself a wonderful day.